Hello, I'm Stephen Sschrader, and I'm going to be the Libertarian presidential nominee. Sun Tzu's book, The Art of War, is studied in every military school around the world. And among his tenets for ensuring victory is know your opponent, and not just their capabilities, but also why they're doing what they're doing and why they are the way they are. Take our opponent Iran, for example. Iran hates the United States with a purple passion. The reason is that at one time Iran had a secular constitutional government based on the British model. Then one day the government demanded that the British corporation with monopoly control of all Iranian oil production and export allow its books to be audited. And when the corporation refused, they nationalized the oil industry. Well, the American and British governments of the day, they couldn't stand to have a bunch of damn natives running their own economy and pocketing all the profits. So Britain staged an airborne operation that captured the largest Iranian oil production and refining facility, the largest and most modern in the world at the time, while our own CIA staged a military coup d'etat that tore up the Constitution, disbanded the Parliament, deposed the Prime Minister, and put the Shah in absolute, a la Game of Thrones power, ruling over Iran. And he turned out to be a Ramsay Bolton. And for those of you unfamiliar with Game of Thrones, he was the king that fed people, including his own infant half-brother, to his hounds. Okay? So ever since they threw out the Shah in 79, they wanted to return the favor to the United States. Now, as for their being the way that they are, they were happy to call their country Persia and themselves Persians for well over 2,000 years. Then in the 1930s, they suddenly changed the name of their country to Iran and began calling themselves Iranians. Well, Iran translates as Aryan, as in Adolf Hitler's race of supermen destined to rule over the lesser peoples of the world with an iron fist. Yeah, that Adolf Hitler. This explains their extreme anti-Semitism, their militarism, and their determination to rule over all their lesser neighbors. For you see, Iranians are not an Arabic people. Their ancestors migrated down from the Caucasus Mountains, the supposed birthplace of Hitler's race of supermen. However, nations can change. And as the Iranians that remember what life was like under the Shah are dying off at an accelerating rate due to the effects of old age. Younger Iranians, well, they've got access to cell phones and the internet and can see what the rest of the industrialized world has, and they want it. They also know they're not going to get it so long as their country's a third-rate Nazi Germany knockoff. So this is proven by the series of increasingly frequent and increasingly violent, massive protests that are happening in Iran. The government's doing their best to suppress news of it getting out, but they're happening. The change is coming. So if we can maintain our isolation of them, putting pressure on the government that way, and pressure for change, eventually the old guard's going to fall out of power. And we can welcome the new Iran, the civilized Iran, back into the world. Now, if you'd like to see the other videos in this series, go to my campaign website, Sschrader, Schrader, for president, the number 2020.com. I thank you for your time, and goodbye.